Today I'll be talking about endochondral ossification. This is a process in which cartilage is converted to bone. An example of this process is limb development in an embryo and occurs in most bones of the skeleton. First, endochondral ossification begins with hyaline cartilage. In the center lie cartilage cells, which are called chondrocytes. These chondrocytes enlarge, die, and disintegrate, forming a matrix with cavities. Second, blood vessels grow along the edge of the hyaline cartilage, and these blood vessels supply blood and nutrients to the cartilage. The cartilage is surrounded and protected by an outer covering called the perichondrium. The perichondrium has stem cells which are called mesenchymal cells. These cells convert into osteoblasts, and these osteoblasts deposit bone matrix and form the bone collar. The perichondrium starts to form bone and converts the periosteum. The periosteum protects the bone and keeps the bone away from tissue. Blood vessels, along with fibroblasts, move into the center of the hyaline cartilage, and this forms spongy bone and is also called the primary ossification center. Spongy bone is also called cancellous or trabecular bone. These areas have open cavities and consist of thin bone filaments called trabeculae. It is important for a bone to consist of spongy bone so that the bone is not so heavy and dense. The primary ossification is where osteoblasts form bone matrix. In step 4, remodeling occurs, which means that growth continues, both in width, which is called appositional growth, and in length, which is called interstitial growth. In this process, the central cavity, which is called the medullary cavity, is formed. Capillaries and blood vessels enter the area, forming the red blood marrow. Blood vessels and osteoblasts move into the epiphysis, forming the secondary ossification centers. Bone formation continues, and these areas remain spongy. The metaphysis is the area between the epiphysis and the diaphysis. Located in the metaphysis is the epiphyseal cartilage or the epiphyseal plate. In the epiphyseal cartilage, chondrocytes move down the diaphysis, and osteoblasts move up and replace cartilage into bone. As the bone continues to grow, the epiphyseal cartilage gets narrower and eventually turns into the epiphyseal line when the bone is done growing. At this point, most of the shaft is composed of compact bone, and the epiphysis consists of spongy bone. Compact bone consists of a series of osteons, or the Haversian system. In the center lies the Haversian canal or the central canal. This has blood vessels that carry blood in the osteons. Around the central canal is a series of lacunae which have osteocytes inside, and these form a circle called the concentric lamellae. In between these have caniculi, which transports information from in between the osteons.